Welcome to my YouTube video. I really want to thank people who have been following me and appreciating my content. I have a lot more exciting stuff coming up, and I'm going to start talking about AI very soon. That is becoming an interest, that is becoming a passion. I am exploring a lot in storytelling, AI through my Instagram channel. So today is something that I wanted to discuss about for a very long time. I have been a freelancer, I have been a business coach, and now I am becoming a video content creator. The most important part of this, or common across all of this, is communication. And I see a lot of people lacking in this, which is why I am creating this video where I'm talking about communication skills, communication tools, techniques that you must have if you're looking to build a business online. Let's discuss the first step, which is why communication matters. The better you can present yourself and the better you can communicate, the client will find it more relatable to connect to you. एंड इट डज नॉट नीड टू बी इन इंग्लिश. अगर आप हिंदी में बात करना चाहते हैं या हिंदी में बात कर सकते हैं बेटर, तो आप हिंदी में बात कीजिए. बट वेन यू डू इट, यू एंश्योर दैट योर क्लाइंट कैन अंडरस्टैंड दैट. आई नो एट दिस पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम दैट माई ऑडियंस speaks a mix of English and Hindi both. So I keep switching between English and Hindi because I have spoken Hindi for the longest time, and that is something that, like, I think in. तो अगर मुझे कुछ समझाना होता है जो मैं इंग्लिश में नहीं कर सकती हूँ, एट दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम आई स्विच टू हिंदी. और देर आर वर्ड्स, things that I feel more comfortable in Hindi, having grown up with people around me speaking Hindi. I do that. So remember, communication is not just languages. Communication is the way you make a person feel, the way you communicate the entire thing. I am sorry for the entire recording. You will hear a sound, which are my pups getting a little angry that they are locked up in this room with me while I am recording. So that is the first step, which is why communication matters, because it helps you create the right first impression. The second thing that is involved in communication is understanding your customer and setting up expectations as per them. The thing with communication, sending mails, documents, text messages, any videos, any form of things, is you have to understand your client and what they need. As a client, I might like regular updates, or updates every single day on what the business is doing or what you as a freelancer are doing. Or somebody else as a client could tell you that no, I don't need updates every single day, I need it once a week. So in that case, you can give once a week. Some people prefer it over WhatsApp messages, some people prefer it over emails. You see what fits into your schedule or what fits in as per your requirements. Just sort of go ahead with it. Understand your client's need and customize it as per them. That is the second point. The third thing that you must do is to set up scope, timeline, deliverable expectations. Another part of communication is setting up expectations as well. If you say that you are going to deliver a work, your client will never know, right? Or when you will deliver work, or when the business will go live, or when ads will go live, depending on what you are offering as a service, right? Set expectations and timelines for each of those things. If you don't work beyond 6 p.m., ensure that it is written in your communication document. You can create an onboarding document, ensure it's written. You work, let's say, 9 to 6. You communicate via emails, but you're open to customizing it as per the client. These are the deliverables, these are the things that are required, and ensure that you're on top of this all the time. You don't miss out on this, even if, let's say, you have some situation at home where you cannot talk about it, right? Where you cannot discuss this. So at that point of time, what I want you to do is that I want you to communicate this to the client beforehand. So that is the next step. So your onboarding documents have these things: scope, deliverables, timelines, and how you work. Remember this. The next thing is to learn the art of saying no. As freelancers, as business owners, as service providers, most of us, especially in India, do not know how to say no. What happens with us is that, in order to try and keep getting more and more clients, we keep pushing ourselves. We keep thinking that maybe we can do it, and then we get burnt out. right? Or we just can't say no because in general we've never been taught to say no, either by our parents, by friends, family, teachers, etc. Our families have never taught us to say no. We've not been taught this in schools and colleges also. We are expected to listen and say yes to every single thing. That happens in families, that happens in marriages, that happens everywhere. When you have kids, when you have family, everywhere. You just expected to say yes for everything, right? But I want you to understand that at least for freelancing and a job, you can say no. And you should say no, because the more you say no to bad things or things that you don't want to do, you can say yes to things that you like and make more money, right? Just for 5k, 10k, or for small amount of money, you might need it at that moment. So for some time, it might be okay. But if you keep practicing, if you keep saying yes to better clients, you have a chance of making that money much, much faster. So always remember, learn the art of saying no. I personally am doing it myself. I am learning it myself. I'm learning to say no to clients. I'm learning to say no to projects that I don't like, where there can be a lot of money involved. I'll discuss this in my next video, where I said no to, like, a huge amount of money. The next is communication via email, voice, and video. So these are three different channels of communication, right? Email, voice, and video. And each of them has their own basics. And you should master that. You should learn that. When you're sending, especially, let's say, voice notes, or when you're sending text-based messages or emails, a lot of time the tone of the communication is not understood. So ensure that your communication is very professional. It communicates what it's needed. Try not using emojis or things that people don't understand or people might not relate to, because everybody could be in different age groups, right? Once you've done all of these things, set templates for yourself, set templates for your emails, voice notes, or video notes that you send to your clients for work to be done, so that you can just replicate them. The next thing is managing client feedback, managing questions. So as a business owner or freelancer, you will get feedback, and feedback is not a bad thing. So ensure that you take feedback in the right spirit. You also can discuss with them, right? A client might not know 100%. A client might actually be thinking about, like, a client might be wanting something else. They might not be able to communicate it. So while you take feedback, you try and understand what is the reason for that feedback. So try and get that in, right? And never be scared of feedback. Feedback is going to help you improve. The next step, or the next part of it, is almost like learning to say a no, which is learning to have difficult conversations. One thing that I'm really bad at, having difficult conversations, which means that anything that I have to do to, let's say, negotiate and increase the prices, or say no for say no to certain things, say no to certain projects, some things that come my way, or I have to talk to a client to, let's say, fire them, that maybe this is not working out, or this is not doing well, I might not be able to do well. All of these conversations are very icky and very it feels very weird, right? So these are things that you actually only learn in while doing business. It will be difficult, so start slowly trying to do it. Maybe start with email communication or message communication, move it to voice, and then video. Video seems to be the most difficult, right? Which is why most people avoid giving feedback on calls or saying anything on videos or calls, right? Because it's difficult for most people to master this. So if you can do this, you will really master communication. The next step that you have to understand is cultural sensitivity. When you work with different clients in different regions, different countries, you have to realize that there can be a lot of differences in cultural sensitivities. Something that can be a joke for you can actually be something that triggers somebody else, or vice versa. So keep all of these things in mind when you are talking to clients. Ensure that you don't do anything that can hurt the sentiments of people. Ensure that you're more read up. There are so many things that can happen in different countries, right? Ensure that when you're working with clients, you know the basics of it. You are very sure, very clear on how you communicate, and that is being taken well. So keep a check on this also while communicating. And the last thing is stay to your word. So whatever you promise, try and keep it. Try and help them more than you would, so that you can build long-term relationships. With communication and slightly over delivering, you will be able to have really long-term relationships with your clients, which will keep rewarding you, which will keep giving you money for years to come. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this sort of content, please like this video, share this with people you think might be relevant, and subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon. Actually, don't do all of that. Just subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so that any form of content that I create, you are able to watch it.